Customer loyalty, we think, is seeing a renaissance. We just released our first industry report on customer loyalty. There's a ton of interest in technologies that can enhance that. McKinsey thinks that only 10% of customers will be identifiable in 3 years. Where do you see customer loyalty kind of moving forward as far as importance or impact to brands?
First and foremost, I think loyalty has proven several times over the last few decades, whether it was post 9/11, whether it was post financial crisis in 08, 09, obviously most recently with the pandemic, it has proven to be a very resilient and highly valuable asset, strategic asset for the enterprise. And part of that is it typically has a huge subset of your customer base that is among your most engaged, loyal, strongest advocates from a brand standpoint. These are the kinds of folks that tend to be in the loyalty construct. And so we do think loyalty continues to play an incredibly important role. More importantly, where it's going, and a lot of this has accelerated just tremendously. So things maybe we expected to maybe take another 5 to 10 years to continue to see the traction and the adoption that we would have hoped for. It's accelerated tremendously, and it's happened in the last 10, 12, 15 months. Things like the adoption of frictionless types of technology, the embracing of the frictionless, friction-free user experience, and really understanding that expectation from consumers is that removing the friction and making it very easy to interact with a brand. I want to see that in the digital realm. I want to see that in the physical realm. I want to see it omni-channel, and that's my expectation. And so I think, for us, we continue to see that loyalty gets more and more experiential, but that experience is more and more enabled by technology.
I think customer loyalty is so critical for brands. No one can argue that. So, which is why I love being part of Loyalty 360 in your organization. But what I'll say is that I see a shift in organizations, in their culture, or how operationally they look at loyalty. So it used to be siloed. I mean, there were, one person that's in charge of loyalty. You look at it today, it's about the customer experience. It's any touch point with that customer should be tied back to how is this helping us drive loyalty. So before when it was transactional, it was, okay, you give me a discount, I'm going to buy from you. That would have been considered loyalty. Today, loyalty for us is, does the brand make me feel a certain way? Does it help me feel, project an image of myself that I like? Does it make me feel like I belong? Am I being heard? Am I able to give feedback? Am I able to impact the brand? So marketers will be able to build that stronger emotional connection if there are more departments, and as an organization, more people and teams, even product, are looking at how they are helping drive loyalty. So again, loyalty has always been important. It's important to us as an organization, all of our clients, but I do think it's a shift in how they're looking at it and how important they're making it across the organization, which I'm excited is growing.
When you say about it's a great time to be in loyalty, there's no question it's a great time to be in loyalty. 36% of consumers in the research that we did say they're more likely to engage in loyalty programs this year than last. And last year's research showed that there was a big lift from the year before. So, that's great that the consumer attitudes show that there's a support for greater participation in loyalty programs. But we even have the IAB now, the Institute Advertising Bureau, coming out and saying, you need all brand advertisers, all marketers, all organizations out there need to A, be building more direct to consumer relationships, and B, they need to think of a value exchange for the consumers to incentivize the long-term sharing of data, the long-term engagement, as well as long-term transactions. They have 3 pillars of what value exchange mean, and loyalty programs are one. So that's the IAB saying that to anyone that's pumping money into advertising. So no question about it, loyalty is going to be the framework for that value exchange that every advertiser every brand needs in order to build those direct-to-consumer engagements and relationships over time. Because the privacy disruption means if you don't have that direct data relationship, you're going to be shut out of a whole load of personalization that you've been doing in the past. So super important time to invest in loyalty. And I think in terms of the trends that I would say, there's a couple of things here. There's no question that loyalty is, as customer loyalty programs are extending from beyond, from points for purchase, transactional based programs. And I actually think we're going to see many more completely non-traditional brands coming into customer loyalty programs because of a lot of this disruption in ad tech. So you're going to see more people like Vans that are running programs which are 100% experiential. They're not about discounts. They're about giving a framework for people to get closer to the brand and have great experiences and connect. That's going to be a big thing moving forward, I believe. People are going to be looking at experiential loyalty and wanting to dive in and get those direct-to-consumer relationships.
It is absolutely critical. We've talked about the success of the past year, and loyalty is really our one place to give that personalized customer experience, recognizing at an individual level and turning those new customers into those existing retained customers. If we do loyalty right, it really is going to be easy to accomplish those things, but the metrics are going to be important. We really need to watch it early, catch it before these customers are lost, and make any changes in season.
I think it's even more important now. It was important before, and with the pandemic, you realize that you really have to strive to keep your existing customers, and that is going to, become the norm now. You have to have a strong program, and it doesn't have to be, all about the points and all about, the transactional relationship. But it's all about building that connection with your existing customers. You need to keep them, right? So how are you going to what ways are you going to do to keep them? It's extremely important. So I've seen some really interesting ways brands have tried to achieve that. I'm sure you've seen this tremendously in the past year. Even now recently is getting into different partnerships, right? So brands are partnering with other brands which you probably never saw before, and the whole idea is to give that benefit to their customer and also to maintain that relationship they have, right? Like, for example, Marriott Bonvoy just announced partnership with Uber. So that was something very interesting, given that travel hasn't really picked up that much, and people are not staying in hotels as much as they did before, but they are using this partnership to reward points just because the people are using Uber more. So this is a great way to keep top of mind, give that benefit to the customer with the behaviors they have newly adopted or just increased as a result of the change in environment.